Hi, my name is Jason Morgan. I'm a wildlife artist. Welcome into my studio, and today I'm going to be drawing for you a small lemur. So that's what I've done, and it's on pastel matte paper. Took around about 3.5 hours to complete, so it wasn't too long when you compare it to something like coloured pencils. And I want to keep this one really simple. Haven't done a lot of pastels myself, but I do have 20 years or so of experience from oil paintings. And pastel is very, very similar to painting in oils. You overlay light over dark, so that process is the same. You're doing it in layers. That's the same. I work on a toned underground. That's the same. So there's lots and lots of similarities. So if you're used to oils or even acrylics, then you should be able to transition to pastels really easily. Now, the benefit with pastels over oils is that it's something you can just pick up and put down. There's no cleaning, there's no messing about, there's no cleaning of brushes. So you can come in from work or something like that, for instance, and just pick it straight up. So it's really hands-on and easy, and there's no cleaning after. So that's a real good benefit. Lots of people have tried pastels and they've had problems with them straight away, and I was one of them years ago. It didn't work at all for me. I gave up on them almost straight away. I thought, no, that's not for me. I can't be bothered with the hassle. But it's because I had the wrong materials. Now, years on, I've discovered the materials that really work for me. They're not expensive. They're not cheap either. You get what you pay for with art materials, usually up to a certain level. So if you're going to follow along, or you want to start pastel drawing in a similar style to what I've got, then let me go through the materials briefly for you. Most critical of all is the paper. And the one I like so far the best is pastel matte. They come in packs like this as well, or you can buy them in individual sheets. And I like to work with a mid-toned paper, so a coloured paper. Something like a sandy colour or brown is really good for wildlife very often. Okay, so pastel matte paper is what I like. Now, for the underdrawing stage, the darker underdrawings on this, you're going to see me use pastel sticks. Now, these are Conti pastel sticks you can get other brands. Okay, and I've got this box, like a bamboo box with lots of variety in there. It wasn't that expensive at all. You don't need all those colours, but you know, if you're going to treat yourself and you want to start pastels, that's a great one to start with, in my opinion. The other thing you're going to see me using a lot of is the Carbothello, there you go, Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencils, and I've got the big set of 60. Once again, you don't have to have all those, but when you know you're going to like pastels, the one thing you want then is variety of colours. With this particular subject, there's lots and lots of browns in there. Yep, and a few greens, light greens in that area. So, you know, if all you want to do is perhaps draw along with me on this one, get yourself the set with browns, pick up a few individual reddy colours for the eyes, and you can test things out. But eventually you're going to want to do other subjects as well. So those two sets are going to cover, you know, lots and lots of subjects, and then perhaps you want to add just individuals to it at a later date. So that's the set. Really simple. I like to keep things simple. I like to keep things quick and easy, and with lots of tips and techniques as well. So let's start the video and see how I do it. Okay, so on my right hand side I've got my Conti Paris pastel sticks, and I'm going to use those to block in as I normally would. So they kind of take the place of the blocking in stage as I would do on paintings. So just getting the general colours in. And on the left hand side, that's where I've got my pastel pencils. So they're Carbothello, Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencils. Now, some subjects I would work from a screen, especially if they've got vibrant light. But this one printed out really, really nicely, and I want it to look pretty much like the print, so that's what I'm going to work on. So let's really study this now. I'm going in the third direction. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know how important this is. The growth direction look at the reference, see the lines, the flow of the marks on it. That's what we're trying to duplicate. But look how quick with pastel this is taking shape and coming alive. That's the thing I love about it. You know, it's a fairly big drawing. If I was doing this in coloured pencil to this kind of detail, it would take me hours and hours and hours, if I could even do it. You know, because a lot of those light marks you're going to have to work negatively and draw around them and leave them, and oh, it's just too much hassle for me. I really got absolute respect for people that do coloured pencils and spend perhaps 100 and 200 hours working in between all these little fur areas and highlights. Personally, I haven't got the patience for that. It takes away a lot of my enjoyment to know that I've got to spend so much time doing one piece. Beauty of this pastel technique, as I've said on all my other pastel videos, is that we can go light over dark and dark over light. So we're just using the sticks to block in the main areas, and then I can refine it more with the pencils. And so that's the drawing just about finished. Just a little few marks here and there, and what I'll probably do then is come back in a couple of days and just have a good look over all of it to see if there's anything else that I want to just slightly refine, perhaps soften an area here and there, but I probably won't. This is probably the final finishing touches, and I won't revisit it again. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully you've learnt something from pastels, because I'm learning all the time, so hopefully it's of use to all of us. And I'll see you again real soon for some more wildlife art videos.